Welcome back to Wigs with Scarlett. Today I'm doing a budget-friendly human hair wig review of this Emma's hairpiece, which is SKU number BH12. If you're interested in human hair and need something that's a little more economical, stay tuned. This review's coming right up. All right, let's get into the Emma's hairpiece BH12. First off, I want to talk about this color. This is the most stunning, vibrant Irish red that I have seen in almost any wig that I own. I have one other one where the color is very similar, and that was a hand-painted color. These are direct from a Chinese vendor called Emma Hairpiece. So this color is factory colored, and I've never seen a color this beautiful in a factory color, me personally. I know there's a couple out there, but I was blown away by the color of this wig. So I really want to let you see the color. I mean, I'm in heaven. This is exactly the red that I wear and that I love and that I have such a hard time finding. I want to just point out that with factory colored wigs, they're dyed with textile dye, and that is not a bad thing. That is actually a good thing, especially for redheads, because what that means is the color is going to fade far less than a hand-painted color that is used specifically for hair. So I am really loving the fact that it's factory colored so I can get more wear out of the vibrancy. It's not going to fade after a couple washes. So let's talk a little bit about Emma's hairpiece and their wigs. First off, I want to let you know that the lengths that they display on their website are definitely measured a little bit differently than how the brands in the US measure hair. This was listed as a 22 inch and it is definitely much longer than that. I am 5'8". I would say that this wig is about 25 inches. If you measure from the crown, which is how we traditionally measure in the US with US brands. So when you look at their length, they have three options, 18, 20, and 22. I'm gonna say the 18 is gonna run more like a 20 to 21, and the 20 inch is gonna more run like a 22 to 23, and their 22 inch is gonna run more 25, 26 in length. Because if I straighten her, she's quite long on me. And again, I'm on the taller side. So that's important to note. The other thing to note is that this hair really needed to be washed and styled by me to get it to look like this. When it came out of the box, it was curled in a way that was so curly that it looked very wiggy to me. And I didn't like it at all the way it was curled. I tried to first straighten it without washing it, and it had kind of dents in it from travel because it came all the way from China. So I had to wash it and style it myself, and now it looks like a completely different wig. So when you get your wig, just know that it may not look the way you want it to look, and giving it a wash and a style is gonna make it look much more the way you want. It really needed to be washed to get those dents out and then styled to my liking. I think that's very important to note. Now this particular wig is 150 density, which is a lot of hair. I prefer a lower density wig. I feel like a lower density looks more natural. But some people like big hair. Some people like a lot of hair. It is a preference thing. This particular wig comes in 150. Now I am working with Emma's hairpiece to get one in 120 density. And I will definitely be talking to you about the lower density wig once I get it, because for me, I really prefer a lower density. So I'm gonna show you what I mean by a lot of hair. Back here in the wefted area, it's very thick, okay? Show you from the side, from the other side, from the front. It's a lot of hair. It is more hair than I'm used to. Most of my wig, I've never had 150 density wig. Sorry, I've got hair sticking in my lip gloss. I've never had 150 density wig. The highest density I've had in the past is 130. So this is 20% more hair than I'm used to. But because I love the color so much, I'm considering maybe getting her thinned out so it's more to my liking, because I really love the color. All right, now just to note, Emma's hairpiece has many, many different colors. So brunettes, they have blondes and all of that. And I do think they have some of the best factory colors I've seen in a budget human hair brand, because I was really seriously blown away with this color. I want to talk about the way the factory color is going to look with knotting. Now, one thing I really like about Emma's hairpiece is they have these little baby hairs up here, and that really helps conceal the knots. But I will say that the knots are visible. So I'm going to get close up on the hairline. And you know how I am. Like, if I see a knot, I'm not going to wear it. I've said that so many times, pun intended. But because the baby hairs are here, see, when you put those baby hairs there, you can't see it at all. So I actually would consider wearing her because of the baby hairs. Now the part line, I put some powder and scar tape on that, which I have tutorials on, and anybody could do that. And now I think her part looks very natural. And because of the baby hairs, I also think that looks very, very natural once you put the baby hairs in front. But if I was to go back like this, I probably would not wear that, those kind of knots showing. But not everybody's as sensitive to knots as me. Again, it's a personal preference. It's not like people are coming up this close to look at your hair most of the time, right? All right, so let's talk about the cap, because the cap is also different than I've had before. So this particular cap is what they call a 5x5. And what that means is you have lace on your forehead, but not on the sides. So your wefting starts on the sides here, okay? Now, one thing I will say about this cap is it's very, very thick and heavy. These seams right here are very thick. I have talked to Emma's hairpiece about working on their caps, because I really do think they need caps that are a little more comfortable and with seams that are lighter and less heavy. The wefts are bigger than what I'm used to. They're fairly big, wide wefts. And I will say that back here, the cap is very stiff, okay? Most of my caps, they move a bit. This one is very stiff. I mean, honestly, the cap is not like horribly uncomfortable or anything. It's just, I'm definitely seeing, like, I wish that the wefts in the back were more like the wefts here. See, these wefts are much smaller and they move better, but the wefts in the back are wide and a bit stiff. Okay. Like if the whole cap had wefts like this, I think it would be much better. It has a nice extended nape here, adjusters. You have a comb on the back and a comb on both sides, okay? Now with that 5x5, I'm gonna put her back on. A couple things you wanna make sure you know when we're talking about a 5x5. Let me just get her situated. I mean, you can probably figure it out, but when you have a 5x5 closure, a couple things is they're really good for newbies because you don't have to worry about the sides as far as, you know, cutting lace and dealing with the lace on the sides and all that. So these are considered more of a newbie wig. The thing with it though, is that you can't really pull up the sides. However, I don't ever pull my hair on my wigs all the way back. Like I'm always going, you could, you know, pull some of it back and just take some pieces out, you know, like you could do, you know, like this. Pull some of it back, but you wouldn't want to pull all of it back because there's no lace there. Okay. I just seriously, the color blows me away. And the other thing I have to say is I've had some factory colored wigs where there was no shine to the hair, and this one has a lot of shine. Definitely shiny, and I mean not like a synthetic shiny like healthy hair shiny, right? So it definitely has the shine. Just beautiful hair. It does air dry frizzy. And I did a tutorial on this exact wig showing that, you know, we don't need to be afraid of frizz. Frizz, my bio hair was always frizzy. Frizz on human hair, it's just like frizzy hair on bio hair. You use a little heat on it and all the frizz goes away. So I think we're too worried about frizz in the alternative human hair community because there's nothing, I mean, a little frizz can be completely depleted with some heat tools. So I wouldn't even worry about that. Now the pricing on this wig, today is January, God, what day is it? Oh, it's Memorial Day. Today's January 15th. And as of right now, this wig is 50% off on their site, 50% off. Okay. And if you use my code, Sarah10, I believe, or it might just be Sarah. I'll look it up and put it in the description. You can get an additional 10% off. So, yeah, basically you could get this super long one currently, and I'm talking in 2024, because who knows when someone will watch this. Currently, on January 15, 2024, you can get this long, gorgeous red wig for under $500, which I think is insane, insane. Normally, it's almost $1,000. It's like $950-ish. So you're really, really going to get a good deal with this wig if you jump on it and buy one now. And that's just for this color. So it's not the whole site, okay? But if you're not a redhead and you want to buy an Emma hair piece, you can still use my code and get that 10% off, okay? So I have things that I really love about this piece, which is, of course, and I can't say it enough, the color and the beautiful shine to the hair. The things I'm not crazy about is the cap construction, the thick wefts in the back. I'm really not a fan of a 5x5 closure, but I do know they're good for people new to wearing wigs. I prefer ones that go down farther. And the density, it's too much hair for me. But again, there are some ladies that like a lot of hair. I'm just not one of them. I like a lower density. So again, I'm working with Emma hairpiece on a lower density with the lace that comes all the way to the ear. And when I get that one, I will be talking about that one as well. I think it is a really fabulous option for people on a budget. And, you know, there's trade-offs, you know, the hairline is not as customized. You are going to see a little bit of knotting there if you go with a darker color. But there are things you can do, like the little baby hairs that they put are really, really great. The part line can be fixed with scar tape and powder. And again, I have tutorials on that on my site. So if you are looking for a more economical human hair piece, know that this is quality hair. The only difference really between this hair and luxury hair is the way it air dries. And we don't need to be afraid of frizz. We really, truly don't. So if you're looking for economical, looking for a human hair wig that, I mean, it's still, look, I'm not saying, you know, $800-900 isn't a lot of money. It's still a lot of money, but what you have to consider is that a luxury piece from the US that's fully customized, that has hair that dries straight, for 25 to 26 inches, that hair is going to run you about $2,300 to $2,500. When you look at the $900, that's a huge difference. And what I would say is, even though there's things I don't like about the cap is still wearable. Like, I can still wear this cap. It doesn't bother me to wear it. I'm wearing a size small. I'm a 21.5 circumference, and it almost fits. It's still a little bit long at the ear tabs. See, that's my ear, my top of my ear's there. So it's still going over the ear tabs, but if you put on a wig grip, it probably would go over the ear tabs. So I hope this review was helpful. And as always, if you like what I'm doing here, please, please, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.